look at this. There has been a shift of global supply chain in the post-corona world, and there is an expectation that more companies are shifting their supply chain from China to India and other countries. Of course, Vietnam and other countries are in the line, Bangladesh, but India is one of the destinations, right? And this is going to happen. At least some companies are going to have one base in India for manufacturing. India itself has an increased focus on domestic manufacturing, has been attracting investment in manufacturing, has been working, has the Make in India campaign has been going on. Foreign companies are interested that, okay, let's set up manufacturing bases in India. So there's Indian industry, companies, everybody wants to set up manufacturing in India. Okay. So manufacturing in India is going to increase. What does that mean for HR managers? Any manufacturing setup, requirement of HR is a must there. Requirement of legal work in any manufacturing setup is much higher than in a service industry. Okay, so you will have HR if you want to work in like big foreign companies, large Indian companies, reputed Indian companies, then the opportunity is going to increase because more and more companies are going to work on manufacturing. But you will have to deal with manufacturing. Manufacturing has a lot of unique issues around industrial disputes, factories and accidents. Then there's employees compensation or employee state insurance, very unique issues, trade unions, conciliations. Okay, then sometimes there's litigation. So that part, HR managers are the first line of defense. If you can handle that work, your positioning for any job in such companies is going to dramatically increase. And most of the time HR managers are stuck to where they started from, that okay, I can do labor related work in Karnataka, can't move outside, can't do UP. Or they will say, I've been for 8 years in services sector, can't move to manufacturing. I've been in manufacturing but in one state, it's difficult for me to move into another state. These kind of things stop us. Okay, Indian startups are expanding with increasing venture capital and technology innovation. So, what does this mean? Indian venture capital funding every year, you will see every quarter in India has increased. Okay, in technology space. Now, this is the service sector. This is not manufacturing. Okay, there were 12 unicorns in 2020 alone. What is a unicorn? A company with $1 billion valuation. And in 2021, the Unicorn Club, okay, like which are the unicorns? Byju's, Oyo, all these companies. Byju's, for example, has a $10 billion valuation. So that is a decacorn. Okay, it's like 10 times of a unicorn. But in 2021, this year, basically, as per a NASSCOM survey, there will be 50 unicorns. Total unicorns in India will be 50. So 50 big companies meaning 50 startups which have grown really fast to a US dollar 1 billion valuation. That's a big number, right? Now, any unicorn, any big company which has a $1 billion valuation, that size, a company of that size is going to need HR. Come what may, it's going to need HR, right? It's going to have enough people. You can look at what the average employee size of a unicorn is, but HR issues are going to be very important to handle with over here, even if it's in the service sector, in the IT industry. Big Indian companies, you look at TCS, Infosys, Wipro, all these companies which are doing the regular BPO work, they are rehiring to increase capacity for new projects. I was reading a piece of news recently. Usually, the standard amount of population, okay, like capacity, workforce capacity is between capacity utilization is between 80% to 90%, depending on whether it's a Cognizant or whether it's Wipro, Infosys. Okay, and now what happened is that they keep some excess capacity so that if there is a surge in demand, they can deal with it. When Corona happened, a lot of these companies let go of their workforce, and now they are basically their existing workforce. Now demand is back, their existing workforce is being hit, and they need to rehire very fast. So what are they going to look at? They are going to look at manpower suppliers. Who is going to be required to deal with all of that? HR managers. You're getting it? So they need to be very agile with both things. Like there is the aspect where you have to completely rehire and expand, and then there can be emergencies where you need to streamline the workforce, rationalize the workforce. All of that will happen. A lot more of that will happen because you can see that companies are scaling up fast, and also sometimes they are having to weed out inefficiencies. Digitization and formalization of the economy means that there is less cash transactions happening. Everything is getting put on records, which means that there's way more paperwork. So whether you're hiring someone, compensating someone, giving an employee a loan, all of that, there is going to be a paper trail for everything, which means that your work has to be properly done and someone is needed to create that paper trail. Why has this happened? Over the past 4 or 5 years, you've had GST, Aadhaar, and various other initiatives which have led to formalization of the economy. So all the data is available, one with the government. Company also has, but government also has. Now, one more thing has happened. In the past 1 year, okay, there has been a huge surge in fintech. Okay, what is so digital lending companies? How do they work? There are a lot of digital lending uh, businesses which are saying that I will give you a loan based on your salary, uh, against future salary also. Okay, so they'll require some documents, but because you're an employee of a company and you have all that paperwork, they'll give you a loan. So now what happens? All the employees also will be interested in more and more paperwork just so that they can get these loans. Okay, so what is happening is that the whole development is such that there is going to be a volume of data and paperwork necessary, which means that the casual way of working earlier, informal workforce, all of that is going to reduce. Okay, one more thing that's going to happen is a huge volume of employee data will be available. To whom? To government, to the organization, and to third parties. Okay, that creates new concerns about something called data protection, which HR managers will have to handle. Then there are new challenges which remote workplaces have thrown up and hybrid workplaces have thrown up. Some places have gone remote, some have gone hybrid. There are very few offices which are in the traditional format alone, which are in the physical format alone. Now, what are the challenges here? I've written only some challenges, but there are many, many more. Tracking productivity is a big challenge. People use tools and all, but what do you do after tracking productivity? Because earlier you knew, okay, if the person is in office, what will I do? I'll lock out certain softwares, I'll have a punching machine, I'll track all of that. Right now it's like everything through software, and the moment you see there's something off, you have to get into action, issue a notice, write a formal email. And this first email also, you don't know how it's going to be used. Tomorrow it can be you, if this leads to a termination or a disgruntled employee, this could go up online on LinkedIn or Facebook or Glassdoor, or it could land up in a court, right? So now this is what is going to happen a lot more because there is digital communication happening. And so from tracking productivity, you are getting right away into legal, because wherever there is lack of productivity, there's going to be a legal issue. And it's going to be harder now because people will say, no, I'm working. You will say, no, you've not been working. This is what the software shows. How do you take follow on action? If you are not equipped to take follow on action, you will be there with unproductive employees in the organization, and the business owners and the CXO level employees will want you to ensure that the organization is productive, right? Competitive advantage is really important. 20% less competitive advantage means that company won't grow in comparison to its competitors, correct? Virtual disciplinary proceedings may become important. Okay, so that's a new level of rigor and documentation you need to maintain. Some things become easier. You can have video records of proceedings, but then you will have to maintain confidentiality. It cannot be leaked out. So new things come up. Okay. Calculating shifts, spreads. What is spread? Spread is the gap between the time you sign in and sign off. Okay, so you would have breaks in the middle, right? So the total spread of somebody who's working from home can be very, very difficult to track. You may specify, and the law says the spread must be this. How do you apply it? How do you apply the Shops and Establishments Act wala spread to a work from home scenario? Okay, these things become very complicated to understand. Sometimes it's practically difficult to implement. Okay, holidays, how does it work? People have worked on Saturdays, Sundays during lockdown, and wherever there is a remote workforce, this has happened a lot of times. Employees take break in the week or in the middle of the week and work on Sundays. So how do you make it uniform across the organization so that you are well within the legal framework? There's a big overlap. There are more, okay, around this, about around hybrid and remote workspaces, but just let's look at this. Personal and professional spaces have started to overlap as a because of remote workplaces, right? Implementation of something like a sexual harassment at work law is very difficult. Which conversation happened in a personal interaction, which conversation happened outside a personal interaction? Earlier, it was fairly still easier that okay, people were after office hours collaborating on a work project, but the lines were clearer. Now there are going to be no very difficult, especially in service industry, to figure out what is a personal interaction, what is a professional interaction, and which are the till when does the space remain personal, where does it turn professional. Okay, difficulties around handling of company data and devices is a big problem. So company data now will always be digital and scattered, and a lot of times remote employees, you may not be giving mobile phones and laptops to them, so company data will be on other devices, third party devices. This creates a whole issue around how to enforce confidentiality, how to prevent this data from getting misused. Okay, a lot of these issues arise. Administration of maternity benefit again becomes very difficult, complicated, okay, in a work from home scenario.